I have all these emotions, but I don't know exactly how I feel. Hi, I'm Ozzy, and welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. I know I haven't posted in a while, but I can explain, and I will in this video, as I spend the next couple of days trying to express an emotion through art. From idea to thumbnail sketching to side story and then the final piece. But every good story needs some sort of prologue, and so we have to go 3 months back.
Okay, this is June 2nd. I have no idea why I'm even recording this video, but I feel like I'm going to lose my mind. So this is me just recording like a video journal, I guess, for me to watch it next year. Hopefully when things are a lot better, because I feel like I'm gonna lose my mind any moment. I'm supposed to be at the wedding, but yeah. So that is pretty much it. Bye, I guess.
Okay, so just a quick pause here. The prologue is quite vague, honestly, and that's just fine because I wasn't planning on showing the video publicly. But I wanted to add some more context so you're not totally in the dark while I run through the time lapse of me finishing a sketchbook spread from that day. The day I recorded the video was like the height of the craziness that was happening around me. But the abridged version is that I was a final year student in my final semester. Then I found out I had an issue with my semester registration about 2 weeks before my final exams. It wasn't resolved, and so I have a mandatory gap year essentially. If that doesn't sound crazy to you, then you most likely aren't Nigerian, granted. But if you are a Nigerian and it still doesn't sound crazy to you, then you definitely do not live in Nigeria. So that has been the forefront of all the craziness lately. And like I mentioned earlier, I was at a wedding and I was basically just sketching the whole time. I sketched a couple of my friends, which was cool, and I sort of sketched myself as well, which turned out just fine, although much more handsome than I actually am. Drawing anyone other than myself is always nerve-wracking, especially if I know that they might see it. But I like the drawing of the flowers on my table and my shoes as well. Random fact, but the lady who caused the bridal toss bouquet actually got proposed to that very day. So this might be your sign to fight for the bouquet next time. But one shocking thing I did realize from that day is that I really do not like weddings. Okay, so out of the dozens of pictures that I got to, search, there are two ideas that I really like. They are both of people like laying down, but the first one has someone hugging him, which I think, it's just really nice. But the second one, I really like the gesture of the second picture, so that's the one I'm going to be working with. So taking a short break here, I really like the thumbnails, but this is too large, and then I fixed it here. But with this thumbnail, like the body is too stiff. It's almost like a straight line. So now I added that, or I changed that rather here. So that's why it's like an S. That's why I started with this gesture line, so that the body can bend a little. It just looks much better. But I'm not too sure if I want the background to be like grass or like bricks. So that's what I'm like trying to figure out here. Because in the reference picture I'm using, the guy's lying on, a grassy field, something. But I'm not sure if I really want that. So I'm not too sure, in all honesty. But what I do know is that I want butterflies to be somewhere. So I'm thinking maybe butterflies like flowing around, or flying around rather, flying around this figure, and then they will now cast a shadow on the figure. Okay, now I'm finally done with the tedious process of planning. I did these two off camera because I was tired, and you can say I got lazy. So all of them like look kind of wonky, like scenic, like I wasn't even trying. Plus, I do want to add though that I read a book a while ago. It's called Creative Illustration, I think, by Andrew Loomis. It gives a lot of helpful tips about like composition and like arranging your elements in drawing. So I'll put that in the link if you might find that interesting. So also apparently there's a word for expressing your emotions through art, and I believe it's called catharsis. Okay, so remember how we did the whole planning and drawing and thumbnailing, for these thumbnail sketches? Well, all of that is pretty useless at this point. So here I am just trying to mind my business, just trying to eat some good food while continuing to watch Heavenly Delusions, which is a really good anime, by the way. So here I am just trying to download the next episode. So while I'm waiting for it to download, I did download from a totally legal anime site, so, and then I decided to go on Pinterest, just to kill time. And then I find this picture and I really like this one, and so I just decided to just, on a whim, just do a couple of sketches. This is me just trying to figure things out, and then I realized that, I actually really like this one way better than I do, this composition. And this is me trying to figure out how to draw hands, because it has been a while that I've drawn hands, so I don't just end up drawing rubbish. And then I just do a couple of sketches, just to fun too. I feel like totally stupid right now, but it's fine. I definitely shouldn't have brought you out, but it's fine as well. So this is what I'm most likely going to be working with tomorrow. From here on, it's a pretty straightforward process. I just draw, eat, and pray that I don't spill water or ink on the final drawing. It definitely has felt way longer than 3 months since I've been away. Time honestly moves much more slower when you're not constantly plugged to the rest of the world. But it did give me enough time to think and evaluate a lot of things. And I really do love arts and making these silly little videos alongside it. In case it's not clear, I'm doing just fine. Great even. So this is by no means a sub story. The only thing I could think of when everything just seemed so confusing was just art. And it's hard to stay down for too long when you have supportive family and amazing friends who even go as far as asking an AI bot what it could do to make you happy, alongside very kind supporters who care about the arts and the artist, me, and most importantly, a God that says in a lot of places that you'll be alright essentially. So it's pretty hard to stay down for too long. It's a bit different from my regular process, but I really loved how the final drawing turned out, and so I have big news. So see what just got in this morning. I don't know if you can try to guess what is in this envelope. No idea? So in case you didn't catch all of that, I now have prints of my art, and interestingly, like the blacks look like darker than the actual artwork. Well, it's pretty cool because you can actually see like the texture of the paper. I don't know if it shows up, but Yeah, like that's pretty cool. I don't know, it's just different having to see like my artwork in this form. Let me actually compare like the original picture to the print of it. Ooh. I'll be releasing 30 signed and numbered prints of The Unexpected Journey. And if you live in Nigeria, you could get that on my website. And if you do not live in Nigeria, you could get that on imprints instead. Although they wouldn't be signed and numbered by me. Also, the first 7 lucky people to use the code Big News would also get like $2 or $3 off, their purchase. Yes, I know it's not a lot, but I'm not a famous artist, so cut me some slack. But thank you for supporting me. So I have a confession to make, but hear me out. Flatline. So the drawing in the video isn't actually the first drawing, if that makes sense. So I did this. I don't know if you can see this, but I was like, I really don't like it so much, and so I did everything again, more or less. So I feel like I shouldn't just waste it and actually use it for something. But I don't know. I just feel like I shouldn't waste it. So let's see.